playlist where this link is already available. I will share it again if you are not having, and whoever is
Yes,
attended or
please.
registered, they will get to avail this link.
Yeah, sure. Please. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kailash, for switching on video. Hope everyone is aware that we have an Agile conference is coming up, which is on 14th of December. If you have not registered yet, please register. This Agile conference, one-day hybrid event, where the theme is Agile Next, navigating Agile practices beyond boundaries. We are conducting this session to provide an opportunity to connect with Agile professionals, share the best practices, upskill sessions, knowledge sharing, and above all, network with peers, learn from the industry leaders. So the link is already active, and if you have not registered, please do so. I will try to share that link in the chat box. If you have not received, or if you are not able to see that link yet, maybe I will try to put that in the chat so that you can get it and register as soon as possible. Fatima, are you able to, can you speak something so that I can check your audio is clear?
Hi. Is it clear?
Thank you. Thank you. It's working. It's working. It's working. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to post this in the chat. We are at 10. Let's give one more minute to people to joining. Okay. Do you see any network lag from my side?
Yes, kind of.
Okay. Okay. So then give me a second. I will change my network. No, I think its network is working well. Okay. Hope it will improve. I close my doors. Maybe I will open the doors. I posted the Agile conference details. If you have any questions, please put in the chat. We are about to start. And Fatima, is it fine? Should I share my screen, or will you be able to?
If you can share it, that will be great.
Yeah, I'm
I
sharing.
have a lag from my end also with video.
Okay. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, able to.
Thank you. Okay, let's start with 10 2. We are 2 minutes starting from the meeting. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening if you're joining out of India. Thank you everyone for joining on a Saturday morning and attending this Agile series. We have a wonderful event. We have conducted already a wonderful line of events since last few weeks. This Saturday we have invited our esteemed speaker, Tasneem Fatima, who is going to be a agile coach, and he's already a accomplished industry leader in his own capabilities. We are going to have a wonderful session on the topic of Agile plus DevOps. Slightly not in my cup of tea, but I think I'm sure I will be taking a lot of learnings, because something I see about quality and speed, and that is something inherent in all of our PM roles. I will not take too much of your time. I think I will give it back to Fatima. Welcome you again, and over to you. And let me know whenever you want to share the screen. I will be muted.
Okay, thank you very much, Sanket, for the wonderful introduction. And hi and welcome everyone uh, on a Saturday morning today. Thank you for taking out time and joining with us. And I'm basically Tasneem Fatima, and I have close to 14 years of work experience in the industry, and I've been working in Agile from past uh, over 12 years now. So I started my stint into Agile with Facebook India, uh, and that's where I actually met the founders of Scrum and got inspired to get into Scrum. So that's my calling for Agile, and that's what I call it. So basically, today I will be, sharing you about this very important topic called as synergy of Agile and DevOps, how we can apply it in our current industry and make help our software teams deliver high quality products at a faster pace. Agile and DevOps are two powerful methodologies that, when combined, creates a synergy that enables team to be more responsive to the changing market demands as well as, um, face the challenges head on and improvise on the speed, quality, and effectiveness of what is being put into the product. Agile focuses on iterative development, as most of you might already know, and it also encourages continuous feedback and collaboration, while DevOps emphasizes the integration of development and operations to streamline the entire software lifecycle. By aligning these two approaches, teams can actually achieve greater speed, flexibility, and quality in their software development effort. So, in the coming up slides, we are going to discuss more in depth about it. Okay, if we can please move to the next slide, please.
Are you able to see my
So,
screen?
yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Um, and Sangeet, thank you very much for actually sharing the screen. That's I really appreciate. Thank you. So now let's see why this collaboration is key. Why do we need to collaborate agility alongside of DevOps? As I was saying, DevOps are the set of practices, and Agile is a total a game changer for this. Imagine you're trying to drive a race car at 200 km per hour, and that is exactly the scenario in today's digital market. You know, so requirements are changing, customers want different things. In the same way, organization that thrives, are able to survive this swift changes, adapt and roll out features in response to customer needs. But adapting is not always easy, right? We all know adapting is not easy. It comes with its own challenges, how the market trends are facing. So in the traditional models, as we used to know, what used to happen, teams used to be work in silos, work in isolating modes, like different departments speaking different languages with different people, and used to have their own monotonous structure. This separation created not just created communication barriers, but they were also restricting our ability to deliver high software. How many of you have experienced this disconnect basically in your own teams as if now, before Agile or DevOps was implemented? So modern applications are web of complex operations, requiring all of us to work together to deliver that software that goes into the market to please the customers and generate ROI to us. It is like think of how many pieces of code goes into a successful application while we are developing it. From development to deployment to security. Security, guys, we cannot forget security these days. Security is something which is as fundamental as it is required as a building block of the application. If you forget about security, the entire thing goes for a toss. That's why two-step authentication came into picture. And that's how development, deployment, and security merges. And the stakes have never been higher if we are going to ignore security, right? So how can we address these challenges effectively? When you see risk mitigation, let's talk about risk mitigation with the concept of Agile and DevOps. When Agile and DevOps come into a play, that's the secret weapon to develop, to deploy, and to secure. By adapting these practices, we can spot early on the issues that are significantly reducing risk and enhance our quality of our softwares. And look at the world, how it is changing, right? And that's what we call it. Change is the only constant. When we embrace agility and the collaboration to drive is our only way to success, especially looking at development, deployment, and security into picture. Any questions or thoughts anybody would like to share so far? Do you agree with me that current landscape is changing, tech landscape is changing so greatly that it is the need of the hour? Yes, I see that Ravi responding to me saying, yes, it is the need of the hour. Yes, thank you very much, Sarat. It's the need of the hour. Hence, we have to look into these critical aspects, of getting security also as a foundational level of development, not just doing security at just right before the production or before we hit the code into production or send it to customers as a packed package. So not just before that, security needs to be looked at a fundamental layer to start the work with. So the key tenets of let's just now briefly focus on the, as I'm not going into the details of how DevOps work. I'm expecting that you at least have some fair idea how it works. We are basically talking about how it makes it easy for both the Agile and DevOps to go hand in hand to improvise, their working ways of working and to deliver with faster speed and efficiency. So the key tenets of DevOps culture of collaboration is, first is culture of collaboration. DevOps is not a set of tools, as most of us in the market today believe that what is DevOps? People think it is set of tools. No, it is not just set of tools. It is basically culture of collaboration, and that culture coming alive through tools. So often in the organization, higher management says, let's implement DevOps. So when they say implementing DevOps, they basically feel that, okay, getting few tools onboarded, getting people who can work on those tools is DevOps. No, DevOps is a lot more than that. DevOps have its own principles, have its own set of values, Calmar values and set of principles it have. Okay. It's again a mindset and a cultural shift. And first thing let's speak about is um, culture of collaboration. Imagine a workplace, where everyone is united by a single goal, how many of us are united by a single goal. We often say in Scrum that have a Scrum goal ready for your sprint and then unite the work. That's the idea. Delivering quality software super fast. Getting united by a single goal. DevOps is breaking down silos between development and operations team, right? So that is one of the key concept of DevOps. It fosters the culture of shared community and shared responsibility, where continuous improvement is not just encouraged, but is expected out of everyone. That's what makes it work. How many of you have felt the power of collaboration in your projects? And how many of you have felt that this is a game changer if your peers and if your colleagues, if your subordinates are supportive, that's a game changer for your projects, right? You're able to deliver fast, you have quality, you have the right information, you have that transparency, and you get that support whenever you require it. So another important thing is in DevOps, automation is your best friend. It's our best friend, and it's at the heart of the DevOps. Automation. By automating any routine task, we can not just reduce manual errors. You all can imagine, right? Uh, how manual errors come into picture. So once the tasks are automated, you're free of manual errors and you're free to use your time valuably. You know, you can innovate, do a lot of things if you have free time at your hand as a team. You can think of better product features. You can think about improving your functionality, improving your processes and day-to-day work. So automation is at the heart of DevOps. Well, now let's talk how important are these changes. As we know, these changes are definitely important. How do we effectively implement these changes now? When we want to implement these changes, continuous integration and deployment comes into picture. Again, a very important point of DevOps is CI/CD. That's what it is referred in the market. CI/CD process, CI/CD pipelines. So basically, DevOps champions continuous integration and continuous deployment. As the word itself suggests, it is continuous integration and continuously deploying what you have made. It is a game changer for software industry, and it is basically a game changer for software delivery. Continuous integration, things are merging in, and they are continuously being deployed. This practice basically allows for frequent, what was I saying? This practice allows for frequent incremental updates, ensuring that new features and bug fixes are deployed faster. You all must have faced some scenario, right, in your past where bugs or the test come into picture and you are not able to identify how to deploy, who is going to work, how much time it is going to take. Are you going to roll back the application? It is going to be a very costly defect if it has now into the production. So ensuring that new feature and bug fixes are fixed fast. Can you imagine? If they are fixed fast, they can be deployed faster and saving you much important time that is into production. So you can also imagine this as as in manufacturing industries, we have those conveyor belts. I don't know if you have seen any manufacturing line. So something is packed, filled, and then packed into cartons and sent out. There is a conveyor belt that is continuously moving. So imagine the software, your softwares also on a conveyor belt, just for a imagination purpose. Try to imagine it. It is on a software, is on a conveyor belt, and it is continuously moving, developing, and not just doing this, but also improvising. Can you imagine how powerful can that be? So another important point is we are developing, we are deploying, and we are also taking care of security. Now let's also talk about metrics. how are we going to see the data which we have produced, how fast we have been? Have we actually made changes? The various metrics, because data speaks for itself. So monitoring and observability is another very key aspect of this. With, as a we like to call it in the industry, with great speed comes the need for great insight. So unless you have insights, okay, your data in place, um, and as we all say in Agile, that always ask for why, what you are looking for, not just data for the sake of it, but how your data is going to impact your work further, or how it is going to shape up the vision or the mission of your product. So monitoring and observability are crucial for identifying the issues before they escalate, right? So it is not just, it is like a proactive step you're taking to identify things that might go wrong or can go wrong. And it is like a GPS for your software, typically, where instead of waiting for something, you're able to see where on our screens, right? While driving, we see where is the roadblock, where are we going to move? Can we reroute? Can we take a detour? In the same way, you can anticipate and resolve the issues in real time scenarios using the merge of both Agile and DevOps. So it is a clear visibility into the process, what is happening, and how we can take a proactive action for building that high quality software or to have customer satisfaction in place. So incorporating these tenets of DevOps is not just an option, it is the need of the hour. Guys, with me so far, I hope I have not been speaking too much. Okay. Can we please move forward, sir? Okay, thank you. So now let's talk about, thank you, Sudarshan. So now let's talk about how do we merge both, Agile, integrate basically Agile and DevOps coming together to provide us with this value. So it happens basically in three steps. That is our Agile planning. Agile methodologies like Scrum, Kanban provide the framework for iterative development, ensuring that most valuable features are delivered fast, right? That's the idea behind using Agile methodologies. So when we talk about DevOps, DevOps are a set of practices enabled for rapid, faster, reliable deliveries, right? And those agile planned features which we are talking through, we're planning through agile methodologies and delivering it through DevOps practices, basically. Like thanks to automation, collaboration, and continuous feedback loops which we are creating, will not just integrate for a better software delivery, but for a quicker, rapid, and quality effective software delivery. So the combination of DevOps uh, and Agile creates a strong feedback loops, allowing teams to, quickly respond to user needs and continuously improve your product. So as we were saying, Agile basically talks about prioritizing and delivering the most valuable features first through iterative delivery, right? Iterative processes. Agile is basically an iterative process. So our best example can here be our Scrum teams. A product backlog is created in every Scrum team, right? This allows the teams to select the highest priority items at each sprint. For instance, if the top, let's consider for a, a feature is requested by the customers, and that feature is a new search function, example, a new search function. And if this feature is developed first, customers will definitely get quicker value and they will feel more assured and more happy, and they are immediately able to use that feature. So that is agile planning, prioritizing and delivering the valuable software first through iterative mode. How does DevOps works comes into picture here is DevOps is for execution. DevOps focuses on ensuring whatever we have planned in our sprint planning or in our you know iteration planning or our 3 months quarterly planning, we have PI planning. Those features are delivered quickly and reliably and faster with quality, with automation and collaboration. So your best example can be using continuous CI/CD, again, continuous integration and continuous deployment process. Any changes that is made, any changes made to the code can be automatically tested and deployed faster again, right? It is all done in automation. For example, when a developer supposedly commits a new code to the search function for the search functionality, let's take the example of the same. So when a developer commits the code, what happens? It can be automatically integrated and tested against all the functionalities, basically. This allows a faster release without long delays and held ups. Any long delays or held up happens during manual testing or getting permissions. It is all fast tracked. So feedback and iteration loop, this creates a synergy and a continuous robust feedback loop is created. If anything found as a defect or if any code didn't pass your automation test, it will be immediately flagged and this flag will go back to the development team and this will be corrected on immediate basis. And again, the code is again recommitted, right? So this creates a faster feedback loop and iterations, which helps the teams to perform better. You can flag it, proactively track it. So if you can please move to the next slide. Thank you. It is the next one, actually. We have just spoken about this. So let's talk about automated builds. Why are this continuous integration and continuous deployment important concept? So as it says here, continuous integration and continuous deployment, automating the build, test, deploy process. We all know this process, right? Automated builds basically ensures high standards of code quality and maintenance and maintainability of the code. We all know how important it is to maintain the code base as well. Not just the quality on day to day what we are working, maintenance is also very important. So imagine a software team that uses a tool like Jenkins or Circle CI. Basically, these two are open source tools for implementing DevOps. So every time a developer pushes a code to the repository, right? When the code is pushed to a repository, the build process automatically triggers. It kicks off the automatic build process. So compiling the code and checking for errors will again happen automatically. Now let's consider if a developer, accidentally introduces some syntax error in the code. So what the system does? The system immediately alerts the developer or the entire development team. It depends on the setting which you have chosen for a quicker resolution. So this not just save time, but it will also tell you what needs to be worked upon on immediate basis, what needs to be corrected for the code to pass. So that is how automated builds come into picture. Now, automated testing, right? Automated tests are executed to catch bugs and ensure that your new code Okay, whatever the new code which you're committing doesn't break any existing functionality. It is super important, right? If you're committing the new code and it is breaking the other codes and other functionality, it is just going to create messy situation around for everybody. So one of the key thing is it ensures that it doesn't break the existing functionality. Now let's consider a scenario where the team employs unit test as a part of CI/CD pipeline. Okay. When the new code for a feature is committed, automated tests are run against all the functionalities. If developers adds a new feature that doesn't pass this test, the automated test will again this test suite will again flag the issue before it reaches the users, enhancing the overall software quality of your product. So automated deployments, how does automated deployments come into picture is again, after the code passes the automated test, it can be deployed automatically, speeding up the release process, right? Picture a retail company or retail company or a retail brand implementing new promotional feature, like they are running a online store and they have a sale. So for this, once the code completes the testing successfully, it is automatically deployed using tools like Kubernetes or your AWS DevOps code deploy. These applications basically will deploy your code faster, and customer can immediately start using the new feature with minimum effort and minimum delays. And of course, this is not manual. So you will, guys, as teams will also be saving a lot of time, which you can use it, much more intentionally. Okay, if we can please go to the next one. Okay. Okay, before we go to the next one, I just wanted to say, so this uh, CI/CD, pipelines, which we are call about, not just streamlines the entire build, test, deploy process by automating the apps, automating the steps team needs to take. Teams not only enhance their code quality, but also accelerate their delivery parameters, ultimately leading to much more agile teams and reliable software development environment, predictability in their software. So this automation empowers teams to focus on innovation, making better products, ensuring developing high quality products in much faster and in much more efficient way. Well, when we talk about DevOps, we can definitely not forget tools, right? So let's quickly look at a couple of good tools that are available in the market. I have chosen these tools, seeing the market trends, current market trends. You can also, various companies might have their own tools, but these are the popular ones which go well with the implementation of working with Agile and DevOps. So a few of the good tools here are Jira, definitely. I'm sure all of us at some given point of time have used Jira, right? So Jira is not just used to track user stories, as falsely believed in the market, right? People say that Jira is just for user stories tracking and stuff. Instead, um, it brings together, instead of those scattered email conversations, spreadsheets, huge spreadsheets, I must say, teams can now better visualize the progress through Jira boards, burn down charts, velocity, and these days they also have so many plugins available. As per your need, you can use Jira, ensuring it is aligned to any roadblocks or impediments tracker, and it can be addressed quickly. So Jira is again an awesome tool to integrate both the DevOps and Agile combination, right? Of course, GitHub serves as a version control system, basically, and facilitating code management and collaborations. So imagine multiple developers working on a feature branch in GitHub. So this, feature branch can supposedly pull request, right? It works on a pull-based system. So they can review each other's code since they are working as a team. And using that extreme practices, you can review your own code. So everybody will have access to the codes, discuss any required changes. Okay, and in this way, we will not just ensure the quality of the code base before merging it to the main branch, but it will also streamline the workflows. So GitHub is a great tool. Slack, Teams, um, basically, yeah, I've used Slack and Teams basically for communication. So this gives you, few teams also use WhatsApp these days. However, one thing with WhatsApp is you can communicate. However, you cannot track the information as official because it is not an official channel. And to have those official channels, it needs to be registered with the company or your teams, right? So Slack is definitely vital where people can communicate on their personal channels or right before the production, they can create a channel saying this is a production channel or emergency channel for anything. Somebody will be continuously monitoring it and have better ways of communication. You can contact your development team faster if you're a production engineer, and from production, you can contact development team faster. So likewise. So, of course, we all use Confluence. It is a knowledge sharing and documentation tool where you can not just track, but you can also store historical data, right? Which might give you over a period of time um, insights into the data that you have captured. So it serves as a um, historical record also. Yeah, of course, Azure DevOps tool is also amazing, right? It can also be used, and it is also a great tool um, to track the project success and merge with your Confluence, GitHub, as well as Slack channel. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, if we can please move to the next one. Okay. So now let's look at CI/CD planning, continuous integration with a specialized tool called Jenkins. I've used my favorite tools here, guys, which I have used and worked on. So these are good to go. There are other tools available in the market, but of course, these are the most used ones. So Jenkins is again a very powerful open source automation servers, right? That helps teams to streamline their software development and deployment processes. It automates the entire build and integrates the workflow. Okay. So, and it does it very consistently and in a very reliable way. Hence, the software releases or your production releases are smooth. So the first thing is how the transition of continuous integration and continuous deployments with Jenkins goes is it automates the build. Okay, one tool that automates the build, um, testing and integrating code changes in one go. So when a developer, for example, when a developer commits the code, basically what Jenkins does is it triggers a build process, ensuring that any integration issues, if anything is not working, broken, if any test is not passing, and if for any reason, if it is not able to integrate it, it catches the issues. It is just like a safety net for a development team. Before they even send it for production or do anything, once they run the build, if anything is not working, it is flagged out. So, and it does a comprehensive testing basically. Okay. When we say comprehensive testing, Jenkins integrates various testing frameworks for thorough automated testing, and it can be integrated with a lot of things which we are going to see in the further concept. So, example, imagine a unit test is running every time the new code is posted or pushed into the pipeline, right? And Jenkins ensures that any broken code doesn't make it to the production, protecting the overall integrity of your application, right? And it also reports back immediately. It provides dashboards and reports and gives you insights into the CI/CD pipeline status, where build has broken, who committed that code into the build, and which test didn't work. Um, and it gives you at what time it happened and why it happened. So the teams can take immediate proactive measures to correct it. So ecosystem of the plugins, okay. One of the brilliant idea behind using Jenkins is Jenkins have extensive plugin system. So it is called as plugin ecosystem of Jenkins. And it can integrate seamlessly with numerous tools and technologies. So it can integrate with Selenium, for testing. It can integrate with Kubernetes for deployment. Jenkins allows teams to customize their CI/CD pipelines easily by using any of these tools, basically Selenium or Kubernetes or whatnot. Okay, and it gives teams a greater flexibility and greater power, right? So that's the idea behind using Jenkins for CI/CD, and it's a very popular tool in the market. If you can please move to the next one. Thank you very much, Sanket. So let's now look at continuous deployment with Ansible. Again, it is um, basically, again, it is a tool used for, you know, to define something called infrastructure as code. It is again a concept of DevOps. It says using infrastructure as a code, and it is done through Ansible. It again enables automated consistent and repeatable deployments. So Ansible basically seamlessly merges deployments across different environments. Okay, whatever environments which you're using for from development to production, ensuring there is a seamless merging and integration of these environments in deployments happen in these environments. So when we say infrastructure as code, let's consider a scenario where team uses Ansible to configure servers. It automatically configures servers basically. So this approach um, ensures consistency across all environments, reducing human errors. Not just reducing human errors, it is also, speeding up your deployment cycle. So it also supports multi-environments. Ansible effectively it manages deployment across various environments. A team can not just say test their application in staging environment before promoting it to the production, ensuring a smoother rollout with minimal risk and minimal human errors happens. And one of the speciality of Ansible is declarative syntax. It is not just a user friendly for both the developers and the operation teams, but it also enhances the quality by using a simple, YAML, yet another markup language files, which are easy to understand for both operations and development teams. In the process, what they do is they can collaborate and deploy this deployment of script is made easier. And of course, this also adds to the collaboration and shared understanding and teamwork of both the development and the operations team, right? So Of course, another important feature here to highlight is going agentless design. Okay, it is called as agentless design because um, human errors are omitted basically, right? So so it simplifies the deployment process and the management process and making it easy to manage. So rather installing agents at each server, Ansible connects over something called as SSH or secure shell, right? We all know about it. Once it is connected over these servers, basically what happens, significantly it reduces the setup time and the maintenance overhead. So these tools are important and they connect and gives us a robust feedback loop, as we call it in Agile, right? So once we have a shorter feedback loop, we are able to streamline through these tools and enhance the quality of our project, automate the processes, have better culture of collaboration, and of course, continuous improvement in whatever we are doing. So ultimately, it leads to efficient software, better products, satisfied customers. If you can please move forward. Thank you. So another very powerful open house tool that we used for monitoring and observability, basically, to generate insight is a tool called Prometheus. It is again an open source tool, okay? And it collects a wide range of metrics from various applications, infrastructures, and system components. So it can be plugged in and worked with various applications, infrastructures, and system components. So it provides a flexible query language that allows you to easily filter, aggregate, and analyze the collected metrics. So just like suppose it is an application of a car, just monitor the speed and fuel level, right? So Prometheus can collect, various metrics from applications, infrastructures, as I was saying. It tracks request rate, for example, what are the current request rate going on from last week or today's request rate, error rates. It also tracks system performance and metrics in real-time scenarios. So it has a flexible querying language. Um, think of it like having a dynamic search bar in any application. So anything and everything you might think about, Prometheus already has it. So you can filter through aggregated data easily. Um, if you want to know average response time of your API during the peak hour, suppose. So a simple query in the search box will give you that data. And another, great point about this system is it uses alert management. Basically, it is like a smoke detector. If something is about to happen, or if it sees that something might go wrong, it will immediately alert you. You can set reminders in here, and teams can be notified in real time. If an error rate exceeds a certain threshold level, supposedly, okay, and you have set this reminder that you need if error rates go above and beyond uh, 10%, 15%, you can set this reminder as a threshold. And Prometheus can send you alerts on your communication channel like Slack or whatever you're using, and always takes you a step ahead of the game, you know. And it has dashboards. It integrates with a lot of tools and a lot of web services and a lot of infrastructures. So it can produce numerous amount of dashboards that will give you a quick look into the health of your system. And it will also give you a picture of the real-time data that is going on, performance metrics, predictability metrics, error rate, tracking rate, um, issues in the trends or any trends that are happening. It gives you trend analysis also. So it also enhances observability metrics like logs and traces. So it can also act as a detective who did what, when it was merged, by which team it happened. So it captures so many details. So if anything is broken, it not just tells you what is broken, but it also tells you why it is broken, who merged that code, and when did it happen. So it gives you a quicker snapshot of the entire scenario. So it diagnose issues faster and also do root cause for your issues as well. So again, a great tool to use for observability and metric systems. If you can please move forward, I will just try to wrap it up a little bit faster. Right. So infrastructure as a code is a powerful approach, as we were talking about, right? So in it is done through a system called terraforms. Okay. In a terraform, basically, this allows the infrastructure in declarative, human readable format. That's the beauty of it. It is human readable. So Terraform of scripting or syntax is written just like a recipe. What needs to be added, how much it needs to go in. So it clearly outlines what you want in your infrastructure to look like. So this human readable format makes it easy for anyone to understand and manage. And it also has, again, important feature, multi-cloud support. So it can work well with, you know, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud seamlessly. It will not restrict you to one provider. You can actually work with any of them, whichever you choose to, or according to the need of your team or the need of compliance of your organization. So you can think of Terraform state management as a sync between the blueprint, as a blueprint of your draft of your code, then and the actual building. So it ensures basically that the configured infrastructure matches exactly what you have deployed, simplifying the process of making the changes or updates simpler. And of course, it is about collaboration and versioning by integrating the version controls like as we have already spoken about JIT, Terraform, and enables teams to collaborate effectively. This means infrastructure can be tracked like a software code and allows easy roadblocks and team collaboration. And of course, you can get real-time updates of all these scenarios whenever you want to see a detailed picture or do a trend analysis for your team, how it is working, how you want to get things done as a team. We can quickly get those updates as well. So if you can please move next slide, please. Okay. Briefly, before we wrap up, I would definitely like to talk about, these three successful case studies where Agile and DevOps worked hand in hand, and Agile DevOps transformation was a game changer for these companies. So let's first look at, Netflix. Netflix basically utilized the component of rapid deployment and reliability. As we were talking in the past slides, reliability, maintenance, maintainability of the code is also very important. So faster deployment helped, Netflix launches easier. So what happened was once, for example, if there was a much anticipated series like Money Heist or Arya or any of those prominent series, right? And they're planning to do a premiere. So in traditionally deployment of these updates used to take weeks for one new series to get launched. It used to take weeks, causing downtime, risking viewers frustration, unhappy viewers or slower streaming. All this used to happen. However, using of rapid deployment and reliability of DevOps and Agile, they used to plan it better using Agile methodologies and implement it with DevOps practices. Now the Netflix teams can, deploy hundreds of changes on a daily basis using automated testing and integration tools. For example, let's consider there is a premiere launch day of a critical series, a very hyped series of Netflix. And right before the launch, they have discovered a bug, and the premiere might get delayed. So imagine people who are waiting. Okay, for people like me, I was waiting for the Money Heist series to get launched. So people like me are anticipating and waiting on the tool. And if I don't get it on the right time, it might set my mood off, and my viewership might also get impacted. So with new DevOps culture, the engineers beforehand identifies what went wrong, what are the issues, um, that bug that needs to be fixed. And since it got flagged with using Aura, Jenkins, and all our Selenium software, it also got flagged. And once it got flagged, immediately my development team was able to write it, correct the code, and under 30 minutes deploy it as well, because that's the timing, and I need my show to go live on time. This has enhanced their viewership quality, seamless experience, and smoother transition from one screen to another, from one release to another as well. So this enhances the reliability of uh, the Netflix, right? And that's why we keep going back to Netflix, and it has become so popular in the market. Okay. Another example is Amazon. I think, as we all know, Amazon has also integrated speed to market is one of the important concept of Amazon, right? As we all know, Amazon gives next day delivery, whatnot, and it enhances so many features, live sales that goes into the market. And in today's fast-paced world, um, Amazon has actually become like a local shopkeeper for us. When we want something, we go there. How have it improved its this level of customer centricity? It is through Agile and DevOps integration, basically, right? They adopted these practices to rapidly iterate and build, great product, and build a marketplace for itself, online marketplace for itself. So, for example, if you remember, Amazon Prime Days happen, or that sales, Independence Day sales, and major sales event. So during those sales events, uh, launching of new features or new sales that go live into the market could actually takes months and months of work. However, with agile planning, they plan it beforehand properly, and with DevOps integration, they deploy it in the market with CI/CD pipeline on continuous basis for this Prime Day events or Independence Day events. And if you remember, the lightning deals are also there. So with the CI/CD pipeline and toggle switches of these pipelines, these features or new sales can rapidly go into the market and generate sales. And supposedly the cart, if your cart is not working at the end of the day during the sales time, have you ever experienced it with Amazon? Never, right? Just because they are able to deploy things faster into the market, they have never compromised on the quality. So using CI/CD pipelines and this toggle buttons, new features will go into the market. The cards are updated, the payment gateways are open, and from the payment gateways, the order is placed, and it is again tracked in applications. Where is your status of your product? You have never lost a thing with Amazon, right? It works with such high efficiency just because it is able to use and adopt Agile and DevOps methodologies together. And of course, coming to the last one, finally, uh, we all know about Spotify scaling network, right? It has now become another methodology in itself. However, it adopted it got adopted from Agile, right? So it is a Agile scaling model, scaling practices. So Spotify have scaled the entire organization of Spotify to innovate and to have a responsive organization. As you know, it is a music tool. So every user will have its specific recommendations. So those algorithms work so smoothly at such a high level that multiple teams come together. They have scaled it to such a level that best practices of Agile as well as DevOps is getting operated from the foundational level to the highest level, from P1 team level to program to portfolio and to the organization level. This is leading to a better customer experience, right? Each of us will have our own personalized playlist and the recommendation that comes up with it, so that innovative features and customizing of our user preferences, customizing of our own playlist, and getting a right suggestion what we want to hear next is keeping the audience hooked. So that's the idea of using Agile and DevOps in synergy. Guys, I think I have taken too much of time. Please let's move to the next one. In conclusion, I would just like to say that as you see the numbers on the slide here, this is how we have improvised. 30% increase in speed, 45% improvement in quality, 25% reduction in cost. These are the real surveys done by Dora metrics. Okay, before we go, I think I would like to tell you about Dora metrics. These are DevOps Agile metrics assessment done by Google, and it showcases these things basically. Gives a lot of reader users. You can read it later at your free time. So it's called as Dora metrics, and that's how this slide is generated basically. So we have also seen 99% of customer satisfaction. So thank you on that note. Please connect with me on this through LinkedIn if any questions or doubts, or if you have any further discussions or would like to discuss with me, please connect with me here. So thank you very much, Sanket. I think
Thank you. Thank you,
I've
Fatima.
taken too much of time.
Yeah,
Guys,
no,
thank you for being patient, audience. Yeah.
let's see if I will stop sharing, otherwise I will not be able to see the screen. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, some questions. Maybe we are running out of time, but still, she is asking Azure ADO and question mark. I'm not sure what is the question. Maybe Fatima, do you understand?
It is again a tool like Azure is again a tool to track project management of Agile DevOps in Cohesion. So that can be used as well. So that's what I said. Thank you for it. Guys, I hope you like the session. Any feedback is welcome. Please put it in the chat before you log off. And thank you very much for being with us here today. So
Any
please
questions from
provide your
anyone? If
feedback.
anything is there, we can take one more minute.
Yeah.
Fatima, it is fine, right? Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nachiket.
So I had a question. So
Mm-hmm.
Agile and DevOps, these synergies are well known. And as you have been saying, the culture is the most important part. But traditionally, within organization, within enterprise level organizations, ITS or IT services, IT operations, and software development teams, they try to operate in silos. So, any tips on breaking those silos, or any articles, case studies that you have been that you talked about? Do you have any links to those which can help, with uh, some cultural tips that we can take to the senior leadership? I think that is the most challenging part of it all, implementing Agile plus DevOps together most efficiently in the way it's imagined to be.
That's very right, Nishikesh. Culture is the key game changer for all these transitions to happen. Without culture, we cannot do anything. So, if you can please connect with me on LinkedIn, I will share a couple of articles and case studies which I have gone through. In the interest of time, I think I cannot discuss it in
Sure,
detail.
sure. No worries.
Right?
I've already sent you a connection request on LinkedIn.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Any other thoughts, parting thoughts, guys? And all of you can please connect with me on LinkedIn. That will be great. And if any further questions, I will definitely love to answer it for you. So please do that.
Yeah, could you please show the scanner again to connect? See.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions? If not, thank you very much. And thank you
I'll
very much
post
for
it here.
joining the session and hope you enjoyed. And please connect with the speaker or maybe you can put in the chat. We will be taking it to Fatima and she can answer that, those. And thank you again. And I have posted Agile series conference details in the chat. Please join in. And if you have any queries, feel free to check with me on LinkedIn. Myself is Sanket Mohapatra. And thank you for joining again.
Guys, I'm pasting my LinkedIn chat, LinkedIn link here. If you would like to connect, please hit the chat in. Thank you for the awesome feedback. I hope you got something for spending time with us today on Saturday morning. So at PMI, we make sure to do that actually. So yeah, from time to time, we would like to actually offer great learnings for you. So thank you very much for being wonderful audience. And if any thoughts, feel free to share.
Okay. If not, then thank you very much. We are ready to close the call. Thank you for again for attending the session and great session.
Thank you, Sake. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Fatima.
Nice weekend. Thank you.